Peace, 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 and good morning. Happy 2024. Man, feeling mixed emotions this morning, and honestly, I don't know why. Let me just throw that out there. It ain't like I went through something, upset or bothered, but this morning I woke up and I just kind of laid there, and I enjoyed the nothing of this. It was like nothing going on. Nobody was calling me. Nobody was texting me. It wasn't a whole bunch of noise outside. It was just calm. It felt like a new energy. And I know it's a lot of people, oh, the new year is not until, and then they say some wrong ass date. I'm seeing all of these memes about, oh, the fiscal new year isn't this, and the new year's, and they all be wrong. And I'm like, damn, everybody out here trying to be extra smart and extra woke, and it's cool because what they're saying in concept is correct, but the dates that they given are incorrect. I used to be one of those people. I used to be one of them, oh, how y'all celebrating the new year? And we're not. We're celebrating a new calendar, which that calendar states what year it is. And those who say that it's not a new year and the new year don't start until March, then I challenge you to tell your company to, when they pay you with a check and still put 2023 on it, and let's see if you get it cashed. Peace to God. It's Remy, my guy. Remy, shout out to you, brethren. I understand both sides, because it's like being one of them people who used to be like that, an extra woke new nigga. When I was an extra woke new nigga, I was like that too. I would sit around, and if people were celebrating, I would tell them why would they celebrating some bullshit. And if people was happy, I would tell them why they being happy is some bullshit. And if people was getting together with family, I would tell them why they getting together with family with some bullshit. And then after gaining an amount of wisdom, I started to realize, damn, boy, you a fool. You really sitting here arguing with people about rituals. Because that's what we really talking about, y'all. We really talking about rituals. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't come in here to talk about it. I came in to just kick it. It's a Kush Koffee. I didn't do a whole lot of Kush Koffees in 2023. One of my goals is to bring my Kush Koffees back. So I figured, why not start off the new year, the new calendar with one. But yeah, man, these is rituals. I was talking to a partner of mine the other day about the magic of rituals, and how a lot of our people have been persuaded to avoid, to move away from, and to look at our natural practices as if they are some bullshit. And we talk as if, like I said, like we woke or we smart or we above the rest of the society, because we know that the new calendar is this and the new year is this and this is this and this ain't that and that ain't this. But let me ask y'all something. Do y'all think that the people who celebrate Christmas are not truly and authentically feeling and experiencing a Christmas spirit? That's my question to y'all. If y'all think they are literally feeling a Christmas spirit, type 1 into comments. If you think they're not experiencing a Christmas spirit at all, then type 0. I'd like to know, what do y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all think that people who celebrate Christmas are not really tapping into what they call the Christmas spirit? Because me personally, thank you, Fernando. You know what I'm saying? I do this for y'all. I do this for us. Me personally, I bear witness that they are. I've felt the Christmas spirit before. I've felt that happiness, the joy, the contemplation, and I felt it when I was a youth and my family dealt with those celebrations and those rituals I felt the Christmas spirit. I was downtown Detroit, Trappers Alley, lights everywhere, standing at the bus stop with my father. I remember as a youth, I had to be like 12 or 13, and I was just standing there, and I was like, this is like one of the greatest feelings that I felt in a long time. I said that to myself. I remember it was on Woodward, across from what used to be what was that big building that was down there that they tore down, the not the Macy's building. It was a name for that. Oh my goodness. Those of y'all who go back with me, y'all know what I'm talking about. Downtown Detroit, Woodward, right before that little curve start around Campus Martius. Right there is where the main bus stop place used to be. And right across the street, not Marshall's. Oh, it was not Macy's, not Marshall's, but it was a name. Anyway, I remember standing there and remember the feeling. I remember it. And it was cold and I didn't care. And I got on the bus with my pops and there was, people with Christmas hats on, and it was homeless people and drug addicts. And it was like, but everybody had this energy, this smile, this, hey, happy holidays. Hey, this kindness that they shared with each other. Huh? When you remove the veil, you can choose to still enjoy yourself and find joy in things. Waking up should allow you to find the good in anything. Yes, yes. But see, a lot of us woke up and jumped right back into a conscious sleep realm, that's ran by hatred. You know what I'm saying? We hate to see somebody celebrating something. Why is that? Why is that? For those of us who don't celebrate Christmas and holidays and all of that, why when we go and scroll Facebook, do we hate to see other people doing it? Why do you got to hop on their phone? It ain't even on New Year. Ain't no New Year in the middle of the winter. And I could go on and on because I used to be the one who says them. So I know, I'm not saying I seen y'all say this shit. I'm saying I sat there and said this shit to somebody 10, 15 years ago. But the more I studied magic, the more I understood. The more I practiced magic, the more I realized it was like, oh no, these people are tapping into a spirit. They are tapping into an energy. They are, because they're doing rituals. Now, the thing about rituals is there is an energy that is created. So let's talk about the ritual of right now. Seeing it as a new year. Are y'all telling me that when we get everybody in the world within an hour increments time, right? Because it basically changes 1 hour. Think of the time zones. We're celebrating at 12, and the next time zone over, it's only 11. They'll catch up in the hour. So there's literally a wave of attention and intention going across the planet with the focus of resetting. And it's a retrograde. What yesterday, the end of the retrograde? So how are you going to try to convince me that today is not the beginning of a new energy? And is that energy not going to be followed for 365 days? And in 365 days from now, 364 and a half, everybody in the world is going to be focusing their attention and intentions on a new reset. Let me explain something to y'all. People talk about history as if it has more power than people. I'm not really concerned of when they changed. I don't celebrate many holidays, but I refuse to impose my beliefs on another entity. If you celebrate something and you thought of me in that moment, I've learned to truly be grateful and appreciate that. Yo, peace. I'm not sure who that is, but yo, that's the energy I move with now. Somebody tell me Merry Christmas. I don't celebrate that shit. Fake ass shit. Whoa. Somebody just gave you love and attention and acknowledgement. Oh, Remy, okay, that's still you. And we come back with negativity. Well, if they are a religious person and you not, and you have pride in that, let me ask you a question. Who sounds like a better person just generally? Like somebody literally looked at you and greeted you with positivity, love, attention, and intention, and you responded with hatred, with blockage, with disrespect. I don't even want to ask who celebrate what or who's what religion. I'm looking and going, that person doesn't seem like a very good person. That person seems to be like they have good intentions. So if we just look at it from the base of the response, the base of how we communicate with each other, the base of how we talk to each other, the base of our compassion, the base of our compassion. Let me tell y'all, that's why I talk real. This is why I communicate on my videos, on my lives. You know why? Because I have compassion for my fellow brothers and sisters. This is why I don't look to be in a hurry to debate. I don't go get people and say, you said that shit on Facebook, come on to my live so we can go back and forth. Because I don't want to lose my compassion for my fellow people. I had to explain to somebody else the other day. They said, why you always go on and make these videos in response to people saying things, but you don't speak directly to them? And I said, because I don't antagonize people. If somebody put up a post the other day that said, the more a man has been damaged or hurt by his mother, the more that he will try to tear down and destroy any woman he deal with. And I was like, this is so stupid. I wish women and men would stop saying this dumb shit. And I was like, I'm triggered. I'm about to go live. And then they was like, well, why you don't, you know what I'm saying, tag the person or bring them on the live? And I said, because they could have just been sharing this post because they read it. They had a boyfriend who had mother issues and treated them bad. That's what they experienced. And so when they scroll past, they was like, I know that's right. Boom, share, right? Here I go scrolling past and seeing it and going, the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with this? Nah, this is some bullshit. This is stupid. Listen to all the shit that I'm saying. Do I want to say that to a person? No. Hey, excuse me, young lady who's been damaged and violated and been done wrong by this man. I want you to come on live with me so I can argue with you about how your viewpoint about this shit is wrong. Wait, what? No, listen, shorty, you posted that. That's your business. I seen it. My business is I was hurt by my mother. I was disrespected by my mother. I was abandoned by my mother. And I have a over tendency to love, appreciate, and take care of my women. Period. Right? So it's like, no, like you going through something that you experience and you putting this on an overall people. So I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna talk about the subject. I can do that. And I can say, yo, this shit's stupid as hell. Yo, this is an ignorant mindset, y'all. Don't say this shit to people. Don't spread this to our community. All right? What the fuck is wrong with you, right? And I can say all of that shit with that energy, with those words, and I'm not saying nothing wrong to nobody because I'm standing on what I feel. But if I put a person in that seat and then say all the shit I just said, I'm disrespectful and antagonistic. I brought you on here to be like, yo, this is some stupid shit. Why would you say this? This is some dumb. Wait. This was this person's experience. In a world that many people don't express much love, who am I to shun love? The Creator speaks through people in many ways. Peace, God. That's real talk. So I had to explain that, and I said, that's why I don't bring the people on, right? Now, let me tell you, by the time I finished saying all that shit, I felt like, I stood on that. I made sense of it. I was challenged with the idea. So the person said, one of them would show growth. I was like, wait, what? So let me run that by y'all again. Let me explain what I said. They're asking me, why don't I bring people on to the lives when I'm correcting, checking, or complaining about something they said? And I explained to them, because if they did, I would have to change the way I'm speaking. I'm talking real reckless when there's nobody in the seat in front of me. So I'm saying, let me talk about this idea that's out here in our community. So I'm putting the idea in the seat and I'm dissing the shit out of it. You a fool, you stupid, you dumb, you idea. Why would you say that? That ain't how I'm a real living testimony, right? But if I'm debating with the person who said that shit, I can't say all that shit because this is a person and I have to show compassion. And I have to show intentions and attention to what I'm speaking out my mouth. So I don't want to do that. I want to just put the idea there so I can tear it to shreds. I want to treat it like a hostile witness. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I love you. Call me. I don't want any problems with you. We family and you one of my favorite people. So what I'm saying by that is, so that's what I was saying. So then when they was like, one of them would show growth. I'm going to tell y'all, it's not very often that somebody freezes my ass, but they froze me. because I knew what they were saying. Like, okay, I understand. That shit sounded good. So you're saying I'm going to continue to speak about ideas because if I have to speak to an actual person, I have to pay attention. I have to be compassionate. I have to have patience. I have to check my energy and I have to conduct myself under a certain manner of intelligence and wisdom. And I don't want to do that. I just want to be like this. Man, they fucked me up. One of them shows growth and then went back to what they was doing. Like, I'm not here to debate you. I heard everything you said. And I see that you're trying to debate the subject. I'm not. I'm going to leave you with it. I just noticed that one of those ways of practicing would show growth and the other does not. And I walked off and I was stunned. And it was crazy because the day before that, I had a conversation with myself about this very subject. And I said, I know who I am. I always am on Facebook saying, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to present myself. And I've always stood up under that for the idea of freedom, showing you all what freedom really feels like. Like, I feel good to be free. I don't have to hold my tongue amongst no one. Like, literally, point blank, period. I'm not worried about repercussions about how an individual feel. You know what I'm saying? All of these different principles that it feels good to stand on. And then I said, okay, so all that and all, you don't care. You ain't got to change. You ain't got to watch how you talk. You ain't got to watch how you present yourself. That's all true. Let me ask you a question. Now, remember, this be talking to myself. You don't have to. But if you did, if you just made a decision to be like, you know what? Let me be a little bit more politically correct when I'm presenting myself on a public platform. If you did, would it change your reality? Would it change your finances? Would it change your standing in different people's realms? And I sat for a second. I was like, yeah, it would. Like, I know for a fact that my money would increase. Like, my money's already good. I'm not worried. I'm blessed and I'm fortunate, right? But I know for a fact that if I was to change how I presented myself, I'd probably double. Because it's already been told to me that by a lot of influential people who are amongst the tax bracket that I would like to be at, that would say to me, hey, you really the shit at what you do, and you are who you are, and you are what you are, and I recognize you for that. But in the realms that I move in, people see how you present yourself. It just sets them apart. It's just like, it's uncouth. It's something that it puts fear in them, all of these different, right? And I'll be like, all right, that's cool. Well, shit, they ain't got to deal with me. And I go on doing what I'm doing. Because, again, I'm fortunate. I'm good. I'm comfortable. My children, my family is blessed. Everybody taken care of, right? But if I change that, I would have access to higher realms. Right? Wait, what did you say? The higher what? Realms. I'm going to tell y'all, my man, I think it was Oi, posted a post the other day that said cursing is the opposite of blessing. Let me tell y'all something. When Oi put that shit up there, somebody tag Oi in this shit right now. When Oi put that shit up, I felt like he was coming for me. I felt offended. And I was like, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all don't understand our relationship. Like, that's my man's. But at the same time, brethren get on my motherfucking nerves. Like, he's the one that when he check me, I hate that shit. Like, you gonna check me. Okay. All right. You know, I have to fucking accept it because I know who he is. But he give me that same type of, you know what I'm saying? But this is my elder, right? So we have a real real crazy dynamic relationship. Like no other dude could survive a relationship with me like him, except for my man Easy. My man Easy. Me and him got not the same, but shout out to my dude Evan. But so he posts this shit up and I read it and I'm like, yo, he coming for me. You know what I'm saying? He coming for me. And I'm like, and when he do, usually I let it slide, but no. I'm about to respond. I'm about to, it's like, all right, sword, steel sharp as steel, all right? So I grabbed my sword and I got ready to pull it out. And then my consciousness grabbed it and said, don't do that. What? Don't do that. And I had to sit with myself like, why not? Why should I not respond? And my own words came to consciousness. My own words. Hey, stop him when he starts lying, not when your feelings is hurt. What? Shit. I ain't take that shit no. Then why you try to pull your sword? Cause he coming for me. He didn't say your name. Okay. So I had to sit on it. I said, is there any manner, now I'm going to court, is there any manner in which that phrase, that saying, that proverb, cursing is the opposite of blessing, that you can present and you can get on and tear them to shreds like, how was that when blah, blah. And I'm like, nah, I bear witness to that shit. Like, cursing is definitely like the yin and the yang to blessing. So then I'm sitting there with myself like, ooh, right? And there's some growth and development and initiations that have been sitting upon me for me to go through over the last year or two. And I've been contemplating it and I've been waiting and I've been trying to decide, is this what I want to do? Is this what I'm supposed to do? And that is what sparked me to understand that it is. Because I started to think about what security clearances I have, what powers I have, what things that I'm tapped into in my practices. And I started to understand, even when I say I'm moving with the energy of Papa Legba and how I move and what I do in the realms that I be traveling through, right? Well, when I went through Masonry, there was different levels. And before you went to this level, you had to go through this level because this level prepared you for this level. And this level prepared you for this level. Royal Arch Masonry prepares you to become a Knights Templar. If you don't know how to conduct yourself as a holy man, then I don't want to show you how to be a warrior. You understand? There's a balance in understanding and teaching and going through. And I'm like, so I'm looking at the things that I'm doing, and me and the way that I've presented myself has been very ancestral to terrestrial. I had to see all of these things. Even my walks into the medicine work, into the cannabis growing, into the mushroom growing, into hearing the plants, into hearing the fungi, into hearing man, mineral, plant, fungi, animal, man. These are all terrestrial kingdoms. So I'm going through these kingdoms as I'm going through my growth and development. Well, if I want to get to a higher spiritual realm outside of the ancestral, into the celestial and the cosmics, the higher powers that be, well, there's a certain form of conducting yourself that needs to be attained. Am I wrong or right, y'all? Somebody talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Explain to me if I'm tripping. So when I'm hearing, so I'm giving y'all the understanding of all of that. I just explained to you, that was my thought process coming forward into these conversations that just happened yesterday. So I finished, so I had this conversation with myself. Then I had a conversation with the person about why don't I talk to people about these ideas I come downstairs and go through a bufo ceremony with somebody. We sit up afterward and we're talking about, spirituality and the existence of different entities on the planet and all of this different stuff. And I said, we were talking about something, and I said something about, I'm known to be a bit controversial. And right when I said that, Bridget was like, yo, hell yeah, you controversial. Like, bro, the way you be da-da-da-da-da, and just started kind of, and he wasn't coming at me on some like judging me. He was just like stating like, yeah, bro, you be, and just explaining how he's seen how I express myself. And so I said something in response, and he presented something not like questioning me, but questioning just the reality. Like, yeah, but don't you think that if and it was like, yo, this is the third conversation, and y'all know when things come in threes, y'all know what I'm saying. And I'm like, damn, it's the third conversation about this very same topic. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, a lot of y'all might be getting y'all wish. I think it's time for me to find a new state of attention into the way that I present myself. And it's going to be fun. I accept it. I feel like it's being instructed to me. And those of y'all who know me, y'all know I'm very obedient when I'm able to catch spiritual messages, right? You got to learn how to tap in and understand what and how, even what your style is. Everybody's got a different style. You know what I'm saying? Some people refer them as the guides and the guards. Do you know who your guides and your guards are? Do you know where to look for guidance? Okay, to give you an example, my guides are birds. My guides are the birds. Like, if I have a issue, okay, how people use pendulums. Some people use the pendulums, and they'll ask a question. And I'm not a pendulum user, but from my understanding, you hold the pendulum and you have it still, and then you ask a question, and naturally your internal energy will create a movement that causes the pendulum to either swing to whatever you have confirmed it to say yes, or that you have confirmed it to say no, or whatever your third option is. And then so I've been in situations where, I remember sitting and talking with somebody about the sacred animal venoms class, and they was like, okay, well, I understand all of that. So I'm just gonna, because I'm not sure, and this is a large, thing to do, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna take it to the pendulum. And I was like, okay. Because at first I was like, and I thought about what they said, and and they went to their pendulum, and they was like, oh, it's a definite. And I was like, wow. It only took a second. Because in my mind I was like, that's how you make decisions. But then I thought, oh shit, wait, what about yours? Mine are the birds. We have a certain relationship. So wherever I'm at, if I'm struggling with something, if I have questions or something, if I'm concerned, I just want to know, or I want to tap in, I'll ask the question, and then I'll look to the sky. And no matter where I'm at, no matter what time it is, of course, if it's nighttime, it's not really something I practice, but this is during the day. So, but they're always around. And so when I look up, there'll either be one bird, two birds, or three birds. Period. All the time. It's never failed. And one bird is an answer, two birds is an answer, and three birds is a different answer. And I know what that is. So it never fails. Like, boom, whoop, whoop. Then I look, and then I'll have either one bird, two birds, or three birds. And I'll be like, all right. And when I tap in on that, I've never made a wrong decision, right? The birds are my guides. They come and talk to me. Different birds will pop up at different times. Some birds will come in like, okay, some of y'all have heard people say, if a bird flies into your house, somebody's about to die. in your village, your family. It's a message of death. Like if a bird flies into your house, they're bringing you usually. So because there is exceptions to this, but this is the general idea. You know what I'm saying? That it's bringing a message of death. So for me, anytime a bird has flown into my home, shortly after that, somebody I cared about returned to the essence. And there's okay, so hold on. Shout out. Yo, there's a sister in our community who's a florist, right? She's a dope individual. She's off in the east side. She's a florist. I'm gonna think if I'm gonna put her name out there after I tell the story or not, because you gotta be careful, you know. So shout out to her. But so this sister was a friend of somebody who came through and went through a journey, and I believe she did a journey with me, and so we had a certain knowledge of each other, but we didn't really know each other. If y'all understand what I'm saying, if we seen each other somewhere, we know, like, oh yeah, hell yeah, you sat with woo woo woo, like we did in theogenic work, right? But anyway, so one day she calls me and she says, I'm about to come to your house. I have a gift for you. And I says, I'm not at my house. I'm at my woman's house. And she said, well, send me her address and I'll bring it to you there. And I was like, okay. And I told her the address. And I get off the phone. My woman was like, who was that? So this, I tried to explain it. Just somebody coming to bring me something. Okay. So she pops up. And when she comes in, she brought a bouquet of flowers. And she had a sense of urgency. Like, yo, hey, let me get some water in this vase. And she just started preparing the flowers, right? And she was saying that she was driving around and an energy came to her and told her, take these flowers to 7. Like, that was why she was like, wherever you at, give me the address. I'm being instructed to bring you the flowers. And so she's putting the flowers together. She puts them up on the table. Now, let me tell y'all, for those of y'all who don't know, I'm colorblind. I'm red-green color deficient. So I don't really be seeing colors the way that they actually are seen by y'all, which is why my depth perception has always been crazy and great. So I had a different type of vision when I was in the military. So some things that I couldn't do, but there was other things that I could do that nobody else could do. So I'm saying that to say that, understand, I don't usually see colors. So the sister's preparing these flowers. She prepares the bouquet. She's telling me, something told me to bring you these flowers. Da-da-da-da. I'm looking at them and I'm seeing the prettiest blue. And I'm like, is this blue right here? Yeah. Then I'm seeing the prettiest orange. And I said, is this orange right here? She said, yeah. And I look at my girl and my girl look at me and she looking at me like, what the fuck? And I'm looking at her like, right. And I'm like, and so the sister's like, what's wrong? I said, baby girl, I'm colorblind. I don't see colors. Not like this, but I clearly see these colors. What the fuck type of flowers are these? She say, they're birds of paradise. Oh shit, right? Instantly, I'm like, oh, my phone rings. Because right now, I'm in my mind already putting together what's going on. The phone rang. I pick up the phone. Somebody say, yo, your uncle just died. I said, all right. Get off the phone. Turn to short. Say, yo, what do you do? She says, I'm a florist. I do. No. I know that. You know, I'm part of what we part of. I understand our covers, all of that. No, for real, what you do? She said, I deliver messages. I'm a messenger. I said, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of caught her off because she brings flowers when people are getting married. She's bringing that message that when people have died, she's doing black bouquets. When babies is born, when people are getting voted in, when whatever's going on, she's bringing these messages with these floral arrangements that you understand what's going on before it even goes on. She didn't understand that those might not have been flowers for funerals. I don't know what type of celebration they for, but when she brought the birds inside of my house, I was able to witness the energy of them for what there was. And then she, like, there was a whole, like, after that, when she left, she understood something deeper about her gifts and her, because I explained to her what just happened. You know what I'm saying? And so these messages and these powers and these abilities, they're subtle. You have to have the vision to be able to see them. This is why we speak of being able to see beyond the veil, beyond the veil. You understand what I'm saying? This is seeing past what you, this is why they say you're seeing things for what they are, not what they appear to be. It appeared that she just wanted to bring me some flowers because she thought about me. Nah, what it really was she's the messenger, and she needed to bring that because it was a deeper, that this, all of this was an ancestral healing that was going on. It led to me having to go and have the conversation with my mother, because my mother came into town for her brother's funeral. So I had to have the conversation with my mother. Remember, she sent me away at 11. I hadn't talked to my mother in 30 years. Okay, so this was Halloween 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I had to have a conversation with her. It's like, I'm a healer in my community. Every time the conversation of mother-son relationships come up, I tell them I don't really want to touch on that. My opinion's biased. I got things that I haven't even dealt with yet. And not because of my own growth and development. I had went through it, but I had not had the conversation in a manner that we could both accept it. So that's was something generationally over 30 years that had been going on. I got to hug my mother that night. I got to tell my mother I love her. And she told me the same thing. That within itself changed conscious shit within me that, like, it's like how we take medicines. See, that's why we say sometimes it's not a medicine you need. Sometimes it's a conversation. I don't know how many of y'all can imagine never having known your mother to hug you or to tell you she loves you. Never having that thought or memory in your life at all. That does something to you. See? Right? And to be clear, like I said earlier about that post about the more a woman hurts her son, the more that boy is going to be destructive. And nah. Because for me, I understood what it was that had her lost. It's like if I watched her on drugs or alcohol or whatever else, she was addicted and she was lost. So actually, I had sorrow in my heart and I had pity in my heart. And I'm like, damn, that's messed up. You know, so when I got around Black women, I was always trying to save them from these types of things. You know what I'm saying? Bring them away from, give them encouragement, give them support, give them. So this is why I was like so tilted by this shit. Like, yeah. But that being able to tap into the attention to detail of what was going on was what gave me the ability to be obedient to the spirit, the ancestral realms, to go and work out that for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Because I truly believe it was more for my mother than it was for me. I believe that was more for my mother than it was, because I had dealt with this in so many different ways. When it comes to consciousness, when it comes to my emotions, when it came to finding a responsible way to operate with women, to be an honorable man, but still operate within the safety mechanisms within self based off the traumas that I had went through with her. I had went through medicine work repeatedly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we say a lot of times that the healers are great healers, because the amount of work that they put in on themselves. I know that any one of us that you talk to that are healers in our community, we all got stories about ourselves. That's why we be so passionate and confident about the shit. Like, what you mean? No, I know this shit work. What you mean? Because I had the same shit. Because I went through the same shit. Because I did the same shit. That's how I know. That's why I'm so passionate about it. You understand? That's where that passion comes from. Like, what you mean? Like, no, we got you, right? So this is what you have to practice and be able to tap into. So it's like, I don't know, something just moved me to share that, because that's what I do. I share a lot of my own situations and things that I go through as an example of when I'm talking about these different things, right? Because a lot of this is shaded in secrecy. A lot of this is shaded in lack of knowledge. A lot of people talk about the spiritual this and the ancestral this, but do you give the understanding? Do you give the knowledge and the wisdom so people can gain the understanding? Excuse me, because you can't give people understanding. You can give them knowledge and allow them to use that knowledge to go through wisdom, and they'll gain understanding by going through it. You know what I'm saying? But a faster version of that is to give information, because knowledge is just no shit. But information is to give to the ability to know the things in a certain order that you can use them to gain the understanding. Yeah. So it's a bit of a mixture. It's like I like to specialize on that shit. But anyway, y'all, it's the new calendar, man. It's 2024. So I'm a numerologist. So that's another reason why when people be like, ain't no new year, I'm like, shit, who ain't? It's new for me. My numerology is all being started over today. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't bear witness to numerology. That's cool. You do what works for you. For me, mathematics is the language of the universe, and it's the only language that a lie cannot be told in. I'm going to say that again. Mathematics is the language of the universe, and it's the only language that a lie cannot be told in. So, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. You might have heard it like that before. There's so many different ways you could put it, but mathematics is the language of the universe. It's the language of creation. It is the understanding of movement. And our universe is based off of action. Everything that is what we call in reality is based off of an action that put it together. Whether it's a solid, a gas, or a liquid. So with that being said, mathematics is the foundation of all things in the universe. So for me, it's the base language that I speak. And I also know that it's the mind of man on the planet that rules supreme. See, I'm giving y'all my self-style wisdom today. You understand? It's so with that being said, when we as a human experience agree, then it is. And we all agree on the changing of the numerological process, the new calendars, whichever accent of mathematics you might speak, right? Because you got the different aspects. That's how I see it. These are different accents. You know what I'm saying? So who is it? It's I think it's the Ethiopians. They like in 2016 or some shit right now, like literally, like they calendar. Like everybody else is like, okay, it's 2023. They like 2017, like, and nobody say shit to them. Like, all right, y'all, that's. I don't know how that works across the board but that's the reality of them, right? But from my understanding, the rest of the world, you know what I'm saying, is pretty much in tune with the changes. And the Chinese New Year, I believe, is in February, right? So that's what I'm waiting on, right? I've been witness to all of them, but that's what I'm waiting on, because that's when the year of the dragon start, and your boy about to be out here like, Orville Redenbacher. I'm popping. I'm popping. You understand what I'm saying? So all of these is different accents of mathematics. They're accents, and you got to just really, hang with these cultures and start to be able to understand. Like when I was in the military, I used to hang with the Haitians and the Jamaicans and the Puerto Ricans. So when I go to these different places and they talking and they got these heavy accents, I'm speaking right back to them. I understand them because I spent enough time understanding these aspects. So so it's not like, oh, that language is bullshit. No, it's just, do you know it or not, right? So that's the same with these realms that we dealing with and what we talking about. I was explaining to somebody the other day, when we talk about the spiritual work and the magical work, excuse me, the magical work more specifically, because the spiritual work is something different. But when we talk about the magical work is those that know how to hack the mathematics of the universe. People don't believe in magic like they don't believe in hackers. Like if a dude came to you and was like, if you give me $1,000 right now, I'll give you this machine that if you plug it into an ATM, it'll make all the money come out. All you gotta do is plug it in, press enter. Give me $1,000, but I gotta go right now. You gonna give him 1,000? Hell no. 90% of us ain't gonna give him 1,000. You know what I'm saying? That like everybody I talk to and get in this situation, nobody ever be like, hey, I'm gonna give him 1,000. No, hell no. Because as soon as I give you 1,000 and you gone, this shit might not do shit. I don't believe, like, how the fuck, why wouldn't you just go plug it into it? Like, it's so many questions that, nah, I'm not. And I said, okay. So then, like later on that night, you go to an event and it's a real upstage, prestigious event. And then they like, all right, next we'd like to introduce to y'all the world's greatest hacker, spent 20 years hacking into the government, doing da-da-da-da. And now he writes books and sells, products and different things. And boom, introduces the dude. And it's the guy who asked you if you want to buy that machine for $1,000. When he get off stage and he walk past you, yo, hey, can I still get that machine for 1,000? If you got 1,000 right now, would you give it to him now? Most of us would be like, hell yeah, right? So that's the example that I'm giving when we're talking about magic. You know what I'm saying? Magic, like the people who are conducting and practicing, these are the people who have studied these languages enough. Like some people study computer science and they become hackers. I don't know what you study to become a hacker, but studying the spiritual science, you know what I'm saying, in the realms of the universal mathematics, that allows you to understand how these things operate and how you can alter them. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about magic. You understand? So these practices, this is what they do. The more that you practice within the realms that you work in, that's why I was telling somebody the other day, they were saying that they, were looking that they are medicine workers and they tap into that energy and they want to tap into the energy of shamanism. I was like, oh, well, shit, well, to do that, just start going in on, the entheogen that's called to you. Just start going in, like more than the average person. Go in every week, go in every 2 weeks, and just listen to what they're telling you. And they will give you your initiation. They'll give you your run through. They'll give you your walk through. And your experiences is giving you your security clearances. And then you won't have to ask or knock on the door, because if you have the power, you just put your hand up and the door opens for you. Understand what I'm saying? So it's like you don't have to try to be anything, just be it. Just do it. Just keep tapping in, keep going in, and they'll recognize who you are because how often you are there. And then they'll start to become comfortable with you. And then if your heart is lighter than a feather, you know what I'm saying? Then they'll start to gift you. They'll start to give you your gifts, your abilities, the things you want to tap into, the things you want to learn. You know what I'm saying? They already know who you are. They recognize you. They know what your tools are, what your powers are, you know what I'm saying? Your abilities, all of that. So they know what relics to give you. They know what protections you need. They know whether you need a bulletproof vest or you need to breathe underwater. But anyway, y'all, I just wanted to come in and tap in, man. Just sip a little coffee and blow a little kush. I'm not smoking like I used to as much no more, and that's because living in Florida has calmed my emotional body. I had to think about where I'm at when I smoke the most. And it was like I had to really sit on that, like, damn, I understand. And it was like the more money I made, the more I smoked. And the more people that knew me and I was exposed to people being around me, the more I smoked. And it was like I was still pacifying my anxieties. See? This is what it was. Like, y'all see me and I be in these groups and people and I be just moving around. I be talking and kicking it and all of this. And I got that blunt. I got that blunt. I got that blunt. That's because, I'm getting real anxious being around all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to cuss nobody out. I don't want to grab nobody. I don't want to, right? It's a calming because the city has my emotional body so thrilled up, so tense, right? So tense. Me being in Florida over this last year has allowed my emotional body to relax, to just relax. And with that, I don't need the weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is self-discovery that I'm just finding out, y'all. I'm just finding out. I always talk about how I took that first 7 gram trip and my PTSD, anger issues, and control issues, boom, was immediately solved overnight. But y'all gotta see, I had to understand that nothing has taken away my anxiety. This is something that I haven't really focused on, nor have I really spoken about. You know what I'm saying? Like until right now. Like my anxiety is high. I have high anxiety, you know. Um, and like I said, living in Florida has just allowed my emotional body to find peace and to relax to the point where I came into Detroit this time, and it was the first time that I came to Detroit that I really felt good to be here. I felt good to be here. It was like, all right. I didn't have the feeling of, oh, I'm ready to come back or I want to be here permanently. But it was like, this is my city. This is my city. You know what I'm saying? And I'm appreciative of it. And I was able to find love for so many different things and people and understandings that I wasn't able to find before. And this is because now I'm coming and operating as an individual with a calm emotional body. And I'm grateful for it. You know, I've experienced love and gained an understanding of love in a total different way. Um, you know, that I've understood it before. And I give thanks to the cacao for that. The cacao over these last few months and just using that cacao real heavy and having that heart opening real heavy over weeks and months time has just really allowed me to tap into love and understanding love. Like I'm seeing the progress that I've been going through with, you know, going through the healing with my mother and then going into a monogamous relationship with an individual having 2 children and then having what I feel like is being betrayed or hurt within that, and then looking at all of that and then having this last 8 months of being single in Florida by myself on this beautiful lake and being able every day to come out and just sip some tea or coffee and not really have to worry about anything and kick it with the squirrels and the ducks and the turtles and the snakes and the frogs and the toads and oh my goodness, the iguanas and the alligators. And just going through all of this, it was like, oh my goodness, this is, and it allowed me to experience love without being in a relationship and having love synonymous with a woman. Like, wait, what is love if you're not in a relationship? Like for me, that was the question. Like, who you love then? You got to be in a relationship to love your children, your, you know, whoever it is that, you know, you might want to put that on. And it was like, so that was my idea is like, how can you experience love if there's not a person involved? So going through that separation and not having children, not having your woman, not having your village, nobody, you're just in Florida by yourself on this beautiful landscape, emotional body calm. So you ain't got to put this on the city that you live in. No, you somewhere comfortable, reflect. And I had time to. And I had time to go through that and using that cacao and allowing my heart to be open and just loving, period. That's it. Just loving. It doesn't have to be attached to anything. It literally does not. A lot of people say, love yourself. It wasn't about loving myself. I went through that. That's early on. I loved myself so much. It was, calm down, young man, calm down. Okay. So, no, it's just loving. And when you get to that state, you understand love different. There's no ownership. There's no guilt. There's no fault. There's no attachment. Like, there's nothing that love has to connect to. Sounds like self actualization. Love just is. That's right. It just is. And when you find that ability to feel that and to express that, like that's where that Care Bear shit come from. Like it never attached to anything. They was like, I care. And it just went off and like made like a bat signal in the sky. Ah, and that was it. It didn't like, oh, I care and it connected to the person. No, just put it out. Because it's an energy. It's an energy. Just like evil is an energy. Right? Think about that, y'all. Think about how that energy just goes off and causes people to do shit. Sometimes they be like, I don't even know where that shit came from. I felt evil feelings and thoughts and emotions pass through me before. I've witnessed it. I fought against them, but I felt it. So imagine just feeling love. Oh shit. Oh yes. What was that? I loved it. There. Anyway, y'all, we bringing the Kush Coffees back. I love y'all. Thanks for kicking it with me for a minute. I just put a whole lot of shit out there. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, as the Detroit medicine man, I know y'all business, so why shouldn't y'all know mine? You know what I'm saying? But keep that between us. Love y'all. Tell somebody this year that you love them in a language that they can understand it in. Peace.